toward it to the net. Right down the slot. It's Vince Dunn, and he scores. Going back to last season, Pasternak. Now it's 61 goals in his last 83 games as his one-timer finds the back of the net. Through center and on the go. Ovechkin has it in neutral towards the empty cage. He scores again. Alex Ovechkin going closer to 800. Who's the draw? Now it's a 3-on-2 for the Stars. Lindell carries up the cross. And they score! Denning went to the net. Redirects it.
Okay.
A short-handed goal makes it 4-1 Dallas. That will not make the coach happy.
What the puck is going on?
All right, welcome into What the Puck is Going On. We are here in the deep end broadcasting studios of beautiful Virginia Beach, Virginia. Alongside me, Uncle Steve. Steve, we've had a pretty good week here. We've been in studio except for a maintenance day yesterday. But here we are, Steve. This is it, the final regular season airing of What the Puck is Going On. How you feeling?
Oh, man. And, dude, when you say beautiful, I mean, it's literally 87 degrees outside and sunny. The beach is packed as I drove by that. And a much-needed maintenance day for the audio here in the studio. Did a bunch of upgrades with the drivers and stuff like that. So it sounds like with the practice recordings and everything that I see so far, all that is hopefully corrected for the most part. But we shall see how that lasts. Feeling good. Got through the season. Got a full slate tonight. Still 3 divisions up for grabs going into what's basically the last night of action.
Right.
Just 2 games tomorrow.
Yeah, so not much to really be considered. I don't think either of them really mean anything for divisions or anything like that. So, Steve, let's jump right into it. Detroit in Tampa to take on the Lightning. Your over-under is going to be 6.5, minus 115 for the over, minus 105 for the under. The Wings are plus 195 on the money line. Lightning minus 230. Steve, some of these are going to be tough. It's the last game. There's really not much to play for. There's no seeding involved for Tampa. We already know what's happening there. They are playing Toronto in the first round, with Toronto having the home ice advantage. I'm seeing plus numbers on some series props for the Lightning already, so I might jump over that, just kind of riding the unfortunate series of events for Toronto, meaning, the last couple of years having a tough time getting out of the first round. So, Steve, with a game like this, I don't know. What do you think?
I would actually look at.
Is it time to play some obscure stuff now?
Yeah. So I would actually not take Tampa Bay. I would take the complete opposite of that in the circumstance, because they're not playing anyone. There's no way that they are.
Right.
So if you're priced in, if there's ever a night they're going to pack it in, then it's going to be tonight. Talking about Tampa Bay, and I think you can give Detroit a good chance there. I mean, it's not even. Don't even worry about the overtime line. Take the 60-minute line, but to plus 270, I think you can take Detroit.
Right. So how about this, Steve? Over 2.5 goals against Brian Elliott, who will be the goalie of record for Tampa tonight, is at a plus 105. I'm going to go ahead and kind of put that check mark for sure.
Yeah, I think that's fair game too. Yes.
So goalie props might be that kind of night. Like we said, it's the end of the season, so some of these games are going to be tough. Only a couple teams are really kind of playing for anything, so it might be the time to take some different angles that we haven't normally approached. So any kind of play from that, Steve? You said you like the Red Wings?
I would take the Red Wings on the 60-minute line, and I would take them on the puck line as well.
All right, so here's the next game, Steve, and this is an interesting one. This team is actually playing for the division right now. Well, not right now, but soon. The New Jersey Devils are in Washington to take on the Capitals. I'm seeing a nice plus 135 on the puck line for Jersey. Your over-under is 6.5, minus 115 for the over, minus 105 for the under, with the Devils being minus 175 on the money line, plus 150 for the Capitals. So, Steve, I think if it were me, I would take a 60-minute line for the Devils at minus 115, or I would try it on the puck line and maybe even move it up to 2.5 and get a little bit better number. Just we know, New Jersey wants to win the division. They think they're capable of that. And I would have to agree. They haven't really shown, too much to discourage that throughout the season. So, Steve, the Devils, Capitals, what do you think?
Well, we got burned by the Capitals the other night.
Yes, we did.
You would think we would learn our lesson, but I think you're right about everything that you said. I'm going to peek a little bit more down the board, but I think anything New Jersey actually is fair game. They can still win the division if Carolina can slip up, which Carolina has a hard game too, to be honest, at Florida.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, they could easily jump them here tonight. So, I mean, I think Jersey on the 60-minute line, I think that sounds good, or on the team total goal line. Let's see. The goalie for the Capitals is going to be Kemper. So, they're going to at least have him in there. I think it's anything New Jersey again. I think that's fair game.
Yeah, I think so as well. I see a over 2.5 for the Capitals, though. If we think this might be kind of a higher scoring game, is at a minus 140. You give that any thought?
Not really, because although they did score the other night, they got the 3 goals right out of the gate for the most part. I mean, can you count on that happening again tonight? And what are they putting out there on the ice too? I mean, everyone's going to be out again, right? No Ovechkin,
no Oshie. He's
Oshie.
Done for the season. Mantha's
yeah. So I would fully expect a 4-1-ish type of win by New Jersey, maybe even 5-2. I would have a hard time getting the Capitals to 3.
So if that's the case, Steve, how about the Devils minus 1.5, under 6.5 for plus 360? I don't know. Something to definitely consider.
Play. That's an interesting play.
I mean, why not?
Well, I mean, New Jersey treats this game as if it is a playoff game in a way, although the Capitals won't. So it's going to be the potential to be more lower scoring. We've seen a lot of the unders coming through here, especially in the key matchups. Edmonton has been an under machine. We think of Edmonton as an over machine, but they've been under like crazy.
Right.
So if you've been taking the over in the Edmonton games like us, then you've been getting burned by that. So I could see that, Dave, but maybe it's 5-2 and you get burned on that under.
Right. And I will say this, Steve. I still like the Kings. I like the numbers that are going to be attached to them come the playoffs. They were getting a plus 900 to win the West. But I'll tell you a team that's really emerged for me that I think I'm going to put some coins on is Edmonton. I think they have a real shot to win the West.
Oh, yeah. They got the superstar talent as well. They got if there are faces to the NHL that should be household names, then it's going to be McDavid.
Absolutely.
Even Draisaitl to some extent. So I like their chances for sure.
No doubt. All right, Steve, next game up, you just mentioned it, Carolina in Florida to take on the Panthers. Your over-under is going to be 6, over minus 120. You're under at plus 100. Carolina actually plus 100 on the money line. The Panthers minus 120. What do you make of that? Because that makes me want to play a Carolina money line.
Well, so here is the issue here. Florida has motivation in the sense that if they can win, they're going to avoid the Bruins in round 1.
Right.
All right. And they much rather play someone like the Devils in round 1. So they'll leave the Bruins for someone else and hopefully they have to deal with them later. Best case for the Panthers. So I think they're motivated at home tonight. I think that's worrisome for Carolina. Although we said take Detroit tonight, we're taking that on the pure rest factor for Tampa Bay. Carolina had to have it the other night, and they beat Detroit, but it was 3-1 quick, and they really didn't extend that lead or put the throttle down for the most part. On the other hand, Pittsburgh has been on fire, so I would look towards the Panthers here. They don't want the Bruins round one, and I think they can win. I think this is the one division where it's going to happen. If you have those jersey tickets, then you're going to cash them.
Right, absolutely. So maybe Panthers on the 60 at plus 140.
And I think Carolina, if they just get to overtime, they get
then they win the division.
They just need the point.
So if you're New Jersey, you're hoping that they lose in regulation.
Right.
Any kind of point by Carolina will win them the division, whether it's an overtime win or loss.
And also take into account this, you're definitely going to get extra pooled goalie action in a game like this.
No doubt.
So if you do have Florida, you could rack up that third or fourth goal even late in the scenario. So if you want to get really exotic tonight and you like Florida, even a minus 3.5 is plus 870.
Ooh. Plus 320 for some overtime too, Steve. So, all right, we're moving on.
This is going to tell you what this game is going to be a good prerequisite for what kind of Carolina you're going to get in the playoffs.
Right.
You'll see that tonight. If they do very well, then
watch out.
Yeah, maybe. In Carolina, here's the thing. I think they'll get stuck with the Rangers round one if the Panthers win this game.
And that will be a great matchup, I think. We're due for some good matchups here anyway, so we're pretty excited about that for sure. Next game, Toronto Maple Leafs in New York to take on those Rangers you just mentioned. Over-under is 6.5 with your over paying plus 100. Your under minus 120. Maple Leafs are going to be plus 120 on the money line, while the Rangers are minus 140. Two teams that are kind of locked in, Steve. Now, I don't really know what to make of this one. You're going to probably have to play some kind of obscure angle. Joseph Wolf is the only goalie of record that I see right now. So probably going to stay off the goalie props here. Steve, what do you think here, Toronto and the Rangers?
I'd be shocked if you get a lot of ice time from the superstars of the Rangers tonight or the Maple Leafs. So I don't know. 3-2, one of these teams wins, and neither one really cares about the outcome.
Right.
So tough game to bet on. I think overall, in the grand scheme of things, playoffs, much different animal. Man, how about that? If these two teams were to lock it up in the playoffs, that is a tough handicap.
No doubt.
That might be one series I will avoid because I'm not sure what I would take in that.
Yeah, that would be a tough draw right there.
I do like Toronto to beat Tampa in the first. I took a play in a round robin with a couple of the NBA divisions. I took Toronto 4-1 over Tampa.
See, I'm gonna go the other way, Steve. I see plus numbers for Tampa. We know the team they are. Yes, they had some changes in the offseason, but they're still that team.
That's the thing. Are they going to still play King of the Mountain, on top of the world? We've won 3 Stanley Cup in a row, except for last year. Are we going to be that kind of superstar team? And either they are, or the Maple Leafs are going to knock them off that top.
Right.
And it's going to maybe be a little bit of a struggle to get all the way back up there. But a great organization nonetheless, Tampa Bay.
Absolutely. All right, Steve, here we go. This is a game. Boy, I don't really know what you do with this one either. Pittsburgh is in Columbus to play the Blue Jackets. Your over-under is going to be 6.5. Minus 130 for the over, plus 110 for the under. Minus 225 for Pittsburgh, plus 190 for the Jackets. Steve, I think if it's me, I would probably play that minus 130 of the over. Two teams, it's the end of the season. Why not go out with some fireworks? I think we see some goals here. What do you think, Steve?
I think that's a good angle way to look at it. The fact that Pittsburgh, though, couldn't do anything offensively against Chicago
It's worrisome.
to get knocked out of the playoffs, it doesn't bode well. And maybe they're really mentally checked out of this game. So I would actually take a look at Columbus in this game. They're getting a nice price. And if you do get, again, I mean, this is the one weird night. You can take some weird stuff. And why not throw Columbus in the mix of that?
Right.
Because that's what they are. And if you take Columbus on some kind of alternate little puck line here, because they finish strong at home, -2.5 pays 7-1, -1.5 for Columbus plus 400. So we'll go ahead and maybe wrap up. We'll go ahead and wrap up one of these things as far as a puck line goes, and stick that in with. We'll try 2.5. How about that?
There you go.
We'll parlay that with something on Detroit here, and we'll see what we can't find down the road.
I'll tell you what I like, Steve, looking at it here. You're over 2.5 goals for the Blue Jackets is at a -135. I think they're capable of that. But if you want to push it one further for over 3.5 goals for Columbus, and if Pittsburgh is checked out, I mean, why not? It's in Columbus, so over 3.5 goals for them is at a +175. I think I might take a chance on that as well.
Right. Yep.
All right, so next game up, Boston Bruins in Montreal to take on the Canadiens. I think at the end of the day, Steve, this is probably a pass from me, but your over-under is 6.5, paying -110 both ways. Bruins are -330 on the money line. Canadiens +275. Not a game that super interests me. What do you think?
Let's see. I'm not sure, David. If you had one gut instinct, tell me what it would be.
Well, it would be Boston.
They set the record. Yeah, they set the record already, but they can expand on that. Montreal, they lose last night. They're on a back-to-back. The Islanders went ahead and clinched the Montreal Canadiens victory. I mean, the Bruins are a deep team.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It doesn't matter who they put on the ice. They're just a good team. It is a big price to lay for sure. It's going to be a no play.
Yeah.
Like you said. But if you have to, Bruins team goals.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only way you could probably really go about that one. So, all right, Steve. Ottawa is in Buffalo to take on the Sabres. Your over-under is 7, -120 for the over, +100 for the under. Senators are going to be +120. The Sabres, -140. That's a high number, but I think it's probably appropriate. I don't know, Steve. This one will probably be a pass as well. How do you look at this one?
Neither team's in the playoffs, so it's hard to handicap one way or the other. The over/under of 7.5 is crazy, but it is +135, 134. At the end of the day, it's going to be a no play for me. Just a meaningless game for two teams who fought a long, hard way to really get nowhere. Maybe brighter days are ahead.
Right. Yeah, not much really interesting there. Minnesota Wild are in Nashville.
Not at all. No, nothing interesting.
Not at all. Take on the Predators. Your over-under is 5.5, paying +100 for the over, -120 for the under. The Wild are actually going to get a +135 price on the road on the money line, while the Preds are getting -155. I don't know, Steve. Do you take Minnesota on that money line, knowing that they are the better team?
Here's a situation of rest, I think, for Minnesota. So they're stuck in their number 3 spot. They're not winning that division. And how about Dallas? You got to give them credit.
No doubt.
They gave it up there with a few weeks ago after holding on to that slim margin all season long. We talked about it, how they're just barely holding on by a game, by 2-3 points, 1 point. Never, ever outstretched the lead. at the top of the Central. Minnesota is one of those teams who actually held the lead here down the stretch, but they lost too many key games there when it came down to it, specifically two against Vegas. Nashville fought hard. They went out valiantly. They just didn't have enough to keep up there in the end with the teams that didn't make the wild card.
Right.
I would expect Nashville in a prideful way to actually win this game at home. I think they want to put on a good show for their fans. I don't think Minnesota's interested in this game whatsoever. So I think if you're going to take some kind of puck line, I think you can actually take it with Nashville tonight.
There you go.
And maybe throw them in this crazy little parlay I got going on.
I would think
we're going to take a shot at.
Yeah, I'm going to take a weird shot here. These two teams, they play a defensive style. We've said all year, Nashville, they don't score many, but they don't give up many either. I'm going to go with the Nashville Predators on the money line and a under 5.5 total at plus 205.
Fair game.
So, all right, next game up, St. Louis Blues are in Dallas to take on the Stars. Your over-under is 6.5. You're plus 100 for the over, minus 120 for the under. The Blues plus 245 on the money line. Stars minus 295. Big price there for the Stars. Steve, I think you give this game an under. What do you think?
I think Dallas is going to hammer St. Louis because that's exactly what happened last night.
Right.
Back-to-back games here, but in different cities. They shared the plane back to Dallas. I don't know that. But I think you could take Dallas on some kind of alternate puck line in this game too, to be honest. Dallas can clinch the division tonight at home. So they are going to lay the wood to St. Louis. Let's see. Let me make sure I got this right. Yes. So Dallas has, well, they can't clinch it at home. So the Avalanche have 2 games left, and they trail them by a point. So Dallas is ahead by a point. So if they get the win, then they're going to be up 3 points. Okay, and I think if Colorado doesn't win out, they just draw at some point or get a loss, then I guess Dallas will be second. Dallas is going to be fully motivated. They're going to beat the Blues up in this game. I wouldn't doubt it if it's by 3 or 4 goals, Dave.
Right.
To be honest, that's what they did last night, winning 5-2, I believe was the final.
Yeah, they put it on them pretty good.
So I would expect the same sort of thing tonight. And St. Louis may not score, so your under could be there for sure. I just don't expect much from St. Louis in this scenario. Maybe a goal.
Maybe a 3-0 shutout.
I would not bet over 2.5 goals for St. Louis tonight. I'll tell you that.
No, I would not either.
I don't know what it is. Let's see. St. Louis total goals. This will tell you how juiced it is. Well, plus 106. That's not as fancy. I thought they were going to give you a plus 135. And that would definitely tell you it's going under 2.5.
All right. The Winnipeg Jets are in Colorado to take on those Avalanche you just spoke about. Over, under is going to be 6, minus 110 both ways. The Jets getting plus 235 on the money line. Avalanche minus 280. And you got to think in the race here, it's got to be the Avalanche is your pick. Winnipeg, they're at where they're at. And that's pretty much going to do it for them.
Yeah, Colorado, this has a chance to be a bludgeoning as well.
It could be.
Colorado at home, same thing as Dallas against St. Louis for sure. So I would not be afraid to lay multiple pucks at home. You got to figure the Jets are going to try to rest as much as they can at this point.
You would like to think.
Because that was an exhausting finish down the stretch there. So I'm not going to expect much from them tonight. If you want to lay 3.5 goals at plus 370, by all means, I think you can go for it.
All right, there we go. All right, Steve, this game, I know that this will be on probably TV3 there in the lounge.
Okay.
Philadelphia Flyers in Chicago to take on the Blackhawks. Your over-under is going to be 6, with the over paying minus 115, the under minus 105. The Flyers are minus 120 on the money line, while the Blackhawks are actually plus 100 with a very nice victory over the Penguins, eliminating them from the playoffs. So, Steve, is it who cares, or do you give the Blackhawks a shot here?
I guess the Blackhawks try to end the season nicely at home, to be honest. They're going to be the more motivated team
Right.
in this circumstance of games that you don't want to play. Hey, man, in a weird way, I mean, that's probably the truth. So I don't know what some kind of alternate puck line on Chicago pays. But you're going to throw them in some crazy parlay. They're plus 390 for minus 2.5 on the Blackhawks tonight. And if they win minus 2.5, best be assured that's like the first time that's happened all year.
Right. So, Steve, I'll say this.
I'm sure at some point they've won a game 4-1. They beat Pittsburgh the other night, 5-2.
Yeah.
Was that a 5-2 game too?
I believe it was.
They just covered minus 2.5. How about that for a trend? So plus 390 it is on the Blackhawks over the Flyers.
All right, I'll be expecting.
I feel like we should be drinking for this show since it's the last regular season game.
No, right?
Unfortunately, I have things to do.
Right. So I'll be expecting some text from you this evening regarding this game. All right, Steve. Next game up, San Jose in Edmonton to take on the Oilers. Your over-under is going to be at 7, with the over paying plus 100, the under paying minus 120. The Sharks are plus 400 on the money line.
Oof.
Yeah. Edmonton minus 500 on the money line. Steve, I think with that high number, I think you just take a shot minus 120 with the under 7 goals. I mean, you would think to get over, Edmonton's probably going to have to get most of that by themselves, which they're capable of, but the playoffs are right around the corner. I think they're comfortable just kind of keeping this game low scoring. Let's just kind of get out of this one. So what do you think, Steve? San Jose, Edmonton, I like the under.
Again, I think this is just another bludgeoning, just waiting to happen. Just for the fact that San Jose is on the road, I don't expect much from them in this last game. Edmonton is very motivated to win this division. They're going to, just like these other teams tonight, really. Dave, I told you I wasn't going to play hockey tonight. I'm really talking to myself into everything here. I either see teams that are going to be playoff teams that are going to be looking in the rest against teams just wanting to finish strong here. You know, you want to win that last game. You just do. So the weird stuff. And then also the teams that are going to make the playoffs are getting complete bottom feeder teams to play.
Right.
And, or situationally like the Jets, you know, they just don't have any kind of motivation right now.
Right.
The Wild. So, I mean, I see this with the Sharks getting romped tonight. So anything you like, Edmonton minus 2.5, minus 3.5, minus 2.5 is only minus 122. So you might as well have fun minus 3.5 at plus 210. If you want to get super crazy, because Edmonton can win this game 5-0, 6-0, 6-1, minus 4.5 is plus 450. I think I'll stick to the minus 3.5 though, Dave, plus 210.
Right. So when you play one of those game parlays that I'm looking at, Steve,
yep,
Edmonton and under, they move it to 7.5. So under 8 goals with a Edmonton victory plus 160. I think you probably have to give that some kind of look. I mean, 8 goals, like you said, is San Jose even going to get 2?
Right.
I think they'd be lucky to. Edmonton has a pretty good defense. Like I said, they're, a definite contender to come out of the West. So I think that's probably something that you have to give some consideration. If you want to get some plus numbers here tonight, maybe take a look at a lot of these game parlays and see what you can rattle off with those. So, all right, next game up, Steve. The LA Kings are in Anaheim to take on the Ducks. Your over-under is 6.5, paying minus 110 both ways. Kings going to be minus 255 on the money line, while the Ducks are plus 215. Oh, Steve, I don't know. LA is where they are. Ducks bottom feeder. What do you make of this one?
So I think there is a threat that the Kings can't fall to where Seattle's at, right? If
I
Seattle
believe,
can beat
yeah.
Vegas.
So maybe they are motivated.
So they are. I think they are. I don't think they lose their motivation tonight. But I don't think they're going to be looking to. I mean, obviously they're looking to go up early and score a lot of goals. I'm gonna leave this one alone.
I think so. Yeah, I think
because we already. I think I have other ones I like, but the Kings should beat the Ducks tonight. They should at least win by a couple of goals, 2-3 goals. But the Ducks bit me this past weekend with the Avalanche. So if they can bite the Avalanche, they might as well bite the Kings. And what is their last home game too? That's the thing. They're at home. Kings are on the road. So at the Pond, I think I'll avoid the trap of the Kings tonight. But the Kings should win. If you put them in any kind of parlay tonight, I think I would just take the minus 255.
Right. Yeah, Steve, I think I'm going to follow suit and probably stay away from that one unless it's one of those games where I put it on, while I'm watching TV in bed and decide to change my mind, which has happened. So we can't count on a no play, but as of right now, it's going to be a no play from me. Vancouver Canucks in Arizona to take on the Coyotes. Steve, I think everybody, if you've been listening or watching this show, I think you already know what I'm about to say, so I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. We know that is a team total for Arizona. Steve, what do you have, Vancouver, Arizona?
I mean, I guess if you're going to take it one more time, since it's the last game, I mean, here's the deal. If you don't jump off the ship, at least the voyage is over with. And you don't have to worry about this stupid bet anymore.
Right.
So over 2.5 goals for Arizona tonight is, let's see.
I'm getting minus 160.
Minus 155, minus 160. I think they beat Vancouver at home. That little raucous little stadium down there. And let's remember, Vancouver's a very banged up team too.
Right.
So they're probably enjoying the Arizona sun, to be honest. They've been up in Vancouver where it's cold. They're probably lounging by the pool, enjoying their time, not worried about hockey too much tonight. I would look at Arizona for sure.
I'm actually going to play it over. I'm going to push it one more for the final time of this season. I'm going to go Arizona over 3.5 for plus 145, Steve.
Arizona, nice. Arizona here. If you want to take them on the puck line, then minus 2.5 is plus 470. Minus 3.5 is plus 1060.
Wow.
Arizona can actually win this game 4-0 tonight or 5-1. So I might be sneaking that into some kind of crazy play tonight, Dave.
Right.
So, hey man, a little investment for max reward.
That's what we do here in the Deep End Studios.
Haven't said it for a while.
Well, we can't wait to be saying that again, can we? All right, Steve. Final game of the final regular season. What the puck is going on? The Vegas Golden Knights in Seattle to take on the Kraken. The over-under is 6, minus 115 for the over, minus 105 for the under. The Knights are getting a minus 115 price on the money line, while the Kraken are getting a minus 105. What do you think here?
Obviously, this is a game Vegas. If they just go to overtime, they'll clinch.
Right.
So that's all they're worried about here. I'd hate to have a no play on the last game of the season, so I won't. I think under 6.5 is a good play in this game, to be honest. This is going to be more of a playoff type of game as well, because Seattle can still climb up into that
right.
Pacific. So they're going to the other thing is Seattle hasn't played good against these better teams. So they need to still kind of work out some kinks against teams like the Golden Knights. Now that they're getting into the playoffs, they're at home. Second season, they like to win this for the fans as well. Vegas motivated. I could see this being like a defensive game. I could see this being a low-scoring game for sure. So under is my lean 6.5 on the final regular season game breakdown of what the puck is going on 2023 and 2022.
All right, Steve. Well, that was the final game on the slate. I don't know what to say. Let's do our picks one final time here.
All right, yep, let's do it.
All right, Steve. I'll start it off. Now, I might not play. This would be kind of a crazy parlay here. I might split this up. I might not. We'll see how. We'll see how I go with it. But I'm gonna start with over 2.5 goals against Brian Elliott this evening. Over 2.5 goals for the Jackets. And I'm going to take the Nashville Predators and the under 5.5 there. So that's the Preds on the money line with a under 5.5 total. Under 6.5 in the Blues Dallas game. Then I'm going to take Oilers money line and a over 7.5 total. That was supposed to be an under, so that's going to be under 7.5. Arizona one more time, over 3.5 goals and a under 6.5 alt total for the final game, Vegas and Seattle. All right, Steve, what do you got for us? One more time.
All right, so we will do our crazy little bet here. Looks like we'll do a end of the season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 team round robin parlay. How about that? The payout goes as this: $1 for the 3 game parlays, and if you win, you'll get $250 if one of them hits. All right, on the average, that's off $1. That's just 3 of the 7.
Right.
And no, the more teams you get, the more parlays you win in this round robin. If you don't know what that is, it's a combination of all these teams and a 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 game parlay. All right, I'll do the 4 game parlays for $1. So that payout is $52,000. So there's 35 different 4 game parlays, and the average on that, it looks like to me it's somewhere like $16 or something like that. I'm sorry, $1,600. So 4 of the 7 is going to be $1,600, plus you're going to hit 4 of the 3s. So that's going to be another 1,000. So 2,600 if you get 4 out of the 7. 5 out of the 7. There's 21 different combinations for $1.50 each one. So this is a $30 investment or so, a $32 investment. The complete payout is $275,000. All right, so that's 21 different wagers combining for $275,000. So if you get 5 of the 7, then you're going to get about 10 grand, 11 grand, 12 grand, and then you're going to win a bunch of 4s and 3s. So you're going to be upwards of 20K or something like that. So 5 of the 7. All right, 6 of the 7. I'm going to just put $2 on each one, so $14 total. The payout is $702,000. If you hit 6 of the 7, you'll actually hit $100,000 plus everything. So you're 6 figures for 6 of the 7, and 7 out of the 7 pays a $3.17 parlay pays $847. I'm sorry, $847,000. So a combined investment of, let's see here, I got to do some quick math. It's been a pool payday, so let's just get crazy here on the last day. Why the fuck not? 91, 100. All right, so it looks like $117. Okay, $117 to win $1.9 million. If these 7 things can happen. The Columbus Blue Jackets -2.5. The Detroit Red Wings -2.5. The Florida Panthers -2.5. The Nashville Predators -2.5. The Dallas Stars -3.5. The Colorado Avalanche -3.5. and the Arizona Coyotes -3.5. And let me tell you, that's the Coyotes one that really juices the sky up there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, there.
I'll take a picture of that, Dave. You can post it on the Twitter for the last,
I certainly will.
Feed there. But hey, why not? I mean, if you're playing on the theories that I said, I gave legitimate reasons why.
Oh yeah,
all this stuff could actually
absolutely.
Happen. And I don't know. That'd be a great story to retire on the last weekend of the garbage NHL hockey time.
Right.
So I'm going to take a shot.
Well, hopefully we're broadcasting there from Turks and Caicos here before too long, Steve. I'll be rooting for you there. All right, there are the picks. I believe that the minds of the studio have talked. We are going to do the playoff show Mondays, 6 p.m., and Fridays after the Friday soccer paycheck, correct?
Actually,
or before.
You know what? We can air it. We can air it after the paycheck for sure. So that's what we'll do. We'll air it at 6 o'clock Fridays and Mondays and make it easy on everybody. And that way, even we'll record early. You know, we'll know what the games are. It's not like we're getting any kind of crazy late news or anything like that. So Monday, Friday, 6 o'clock playoff editions.
Excellent. There it is. All right. Well, the final regular season airing of What the Puck has come to an end. Steve, I know this first season for me has been a blast. We've had to navigate work schedules and, equipment maintenance and all kinds of stuff. But here we are at the end of season 1. Like I said, it's been a lot of fun. Hopefully it has been for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun, Dave, and you've done an excellent job. You've taken the reins on this thing. You came to me and wanted to do the show. I'm not gonna say forced your way out of the nest like the little birdie. Go fly away, young birdie. Go fly away. But you've done well to take charge here and deliver a quality product. Even like producing, like when we took the show on the road and all that. You come a long way. You now have hosted your own show that is on your resume, and there you go. FanDuel TV coming up, maybe.
Coming up. And Steve, likewise, filling in like when I was on the trip, did an excellent job. I did listen, tried to call in as much as I could. Excellent job. So when I have not been able to be here, you have filled in and done absolutely fantastic. So, all right, it's been a lot of fun. We hope that we have brought some good insights to you for the final games of the season. And if you have any tickets, as always, good luck.
Good luck, everybody.